Welcome to the small scape. Yes, that is right. Today I am getting ready to scape something with a little bit different inspiration. This is something that I've kind of hinted at a while. I tried to warn you that there would be some interesting videos coming along, but where I've been getting my inspiration lately is not necessarily from nature, not necessarily from a show or other aquascapers, because I have removed myself temporarily from Instagram, but I have received a lot of inspiration from art. So this one in particular, I have sat by for a long time. And I don't know if you're like me, but a lot of the art that I get is, it includes water. Kind of obsessed with water. And if you're like me, you kind of wonder, wonder what's going on underneath there. What kind of fish are there? What is the little aquascape underneath it look like? So that is kind of the point of today's video, is I am going to scape this and what's going on down here. It'll be kind of fun, especially since this is winter. It's a snowy scape. A lot of people don't think of an aquascape having to do with winter, but I love snow and I love aquascape, so let's put them together. This will be really fun, but I'm going to warn you, this is part 1 of 2. I'm not going to complete it today, so you have to wait until next week for me to complete it, and I have a lot of really fun ways that I'm going to wrap it up and add some really unique, really kind of cool stuff to it. So I hope you enjoy this video, and let's start. Now the books are just to prop up the picture a little bit because I do want this to be a kind of paludarium, and I want the water in the aquarium to only go up where the water is in the picture. And you're going to notice right off the bat that it's half scaped, and I'm going to explain why in a little bit. But we are going to be working on this right side so that it kind of matches the left side. Now the 3 substrates that I am using in here is Top Fin white sand. It's actually quite old. I don't know if they sell it anymore, but it's a very nice white sand. And then Ice White, also from PetSmart. And then the larger granules, that's Stony River. And I think they go together very nicely, and they're all kind of cool toned to go with the rocks that I'm using as well. Now I did do that left hand side. We are going to be working on the right hand side to kind of match it, but I just love how it's layered and I didn't want to mess it up. I did want to give you some measurements. It's approximately a 3.2 gallon. Of course that is without all of the stuff that I've added, so I'm sure it's significantly less, probably around a gallon and a half or so that'll be left in the aquarium. So that may give you a little bit of a hint as to what I plan on adding. And all when I kind of build up the substrate on the outsides, because this is kind of it's supposed to look like a stream, and I want the middle of the stream obviously to be the deepest. So I'm building up the right and the left hand side, and with that significant slope, there's lots of different tricks. You can use bags of substrate. You can use, I could have put the rocks in first, and there's lots of different ways that you can do it. But what I like to do is kind of pre-fill with substrate, kind of mound it, and then start putting in rocks going from bottom to top and just working my way up, and then kind of backfilling. And then once I get towards the top, I start adding a little bit more of the ice white, the medium size gravel, and just kind of filling it in. And then what I'll wind up doing is adding some smaller rocks along the sides of those larger rocks, just to kind of block all of that gravel from falling down. But these are zebra, I call them zebra stone, and I like them because it almost looks like it's snow-capped little rocks, and I just had a few of them. I like the size, so I left this one for the right hand side, and as you can see, it's kind of a right angle, like a perfect angle that matches the back of the tank, and it kind of worked out pretty well. I like how it's gray on the bottom of the rock, and it kind of matches the gray on the rest of the rocks that are in there. It's Sirius stone and just some random rocks that I found. I think there's maybe even some mountain stone in there, but this is what I'm kind of trying to block as much of the substrate from falling down. But there's not going to be a whole lot of movement in this tiny little tank, not a lot of water flow, so I don't really have to worry about holding up those sides too much. It's really just kind of for looks. I love that little rock. I don't know about you, but I really do like very specific rocks, and he's really cool. And he matches kind of the one on the left-hand side, except that it's kind of half of a rock. But it adds a little bit of interest towards the back and kind of blocks a little bit of the back that you'll see in next week's episode. What I do instead of the book back there to blend the picture and the aquarium, I think it's going to look pretty cool. And I have many more ideas like this coming up that, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg. This is the simplest way that I can see using a piece of art with an aquarium. And this is a little teaser for next week. Some items that I may be adding. I may include a couple more little teasers at the very end. Not sure, can't decide. But I do want to thank you for watching, and don't forget, let me know what you think I may put in here. Super excited to plant this as well. I have a very I'm very excited about which plants I'm going to be putting in here, because I think it's pretty limiting what you can put in this kind of color palette. But thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you next week.